Derek Woodfire Bray will be your first ride on Sunday afternoon. He's a horse racing extremely consistently of late, and I imagine you'll be looking forward to getting on his back once again.
Yes, last time he got a huge one, and he's a stayer, so 2000 I think is better for him, and he's in a good shape and keep improving. Just the outside draw will be against him, but he's quite straightforward horse. Which I just have to do is just keep him roll with comfortable and he'll be good.
The horse that beat you last time is SJ Tourbillon. You reoppose this time around. I imagine that on the back of that run, you'd like to have another crack at him, wouldn't you?
Yeah, last time, like I said, he had a huge one because we're going fast tempo in the beginning. And he was free wide out the cover, but he traveling quite good. It doesn't go too strong because improving, and he quite relaxed, and he need some time to wind up. So but anyway, he still went good.
Talking of having that time to wind up, of course, an extra furlong this time around. Are you quite confident that he can see out 2,000 metres?
2,000 meters is definitely no problem for him. Just the draw, if after 200, 300 we're gonna be turned, so there's the difficult part.
He had a recent trial as well. He looked quite impressive in that trial.
Yeah, he's quite strong for a trial. He tried good.
Just sort of the nature of the race. There are a few in here that sort of do look a little bit sort of out of sorts. I guess with your horse, racing so well and coming into the race in form, that's always a positive on a big day.
Yeah. I hope I can get a good result at the big day. So, you see.
Silvestre, Brave Dreams is a horse that you won on last time out. He did a pretty good job as well, this horse.
Yeah, he has. Last time we had a very kind draw, and look, this time we got another nice draw, and he's a horse, he does better when he's a fast pace, and no, everything worked out well last time, so I hope this time can be the same, and he can come and do something good,
Just on that pace angle last time, it was quite evident, obviously, you got to work on him a bit at the 550. Was that just because there might have been that slight lack of pace and you wanted to sort of get him into a good position?
Yes, and he's a horse, he doesn't like to be pulling about. And from the draw I had last time, I just have to work on him to keep everything smooth and keep the boat floating, And he pleased everyone last time, and we hope he can be competitive again.
You rode him back in September as well. You've now ridden him a couple of times. Did you feel he was the type of horse that might have just been overdue that win? Because he's always run quite a nice race, hasn't he?
Yeah, he probably he has been a little bit unlucky and in the past, and the day he got the decent draw, he came and delivered. So look, this time we have another kind draw, and I hope he can be a player.
In a race that's full of newcomers, do you think perhaps his experience is something that he can certainly call upon?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And he had a few races, he has a few thoughts, and we have asked him a few questions. So now he knows what we ask him for.
Silvestre, race 5, you will jump aboard Island Golden this Sunday afternoon. He created a very impressive impression when winning on debut. That was a mightily taking win.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he take a lot to do, and in this place, a horse to win first time out. And he done remarkable well, and the first day, and he was running very green in the enclosures. And he's a horse, he got a lot of speed, and I hope things can go right for him this time again. Obviously, we don't have a smart gate, we're in the outside. I think we're at gate 12, and but it's like to say, I hope the race doesn't go so fast early on, and I will be able to get it close to the pace and see how it goes.
Just on that, obviously, when last time you say he was still a bit green, were you conscious in your mind to sort of teach him something on that occasion?
Yes, and I was, and at the same time, and I have to use my gate. I was gate barrier 1, so I have to go forward, but I felt I have more speed than any other horse in the race. So he done the work from the front, but probably he's a horse. He's going to be better when he get a lead, able to get a lead and be off the bridle down the back and come and pick them up, But he's a horse, I think he's going to improve from last running. And yeah, I'm excited and see what I got underneath.
Have you had a chance to sit on him since then, Silvestre?
Yes, I've done a couple of track walks on him, and he feels very good, and looks like he's a little bit more mature, and some days he's go out there and he really switch off for me, but some days he really go and take me on, He's a typical boy,
he's by time test. I mean, you probably would have remembered riding against time test, I'm sure, back in the UK, etc. Do you think 1200 is where he's best suited at the moment, or do you think he's a horse that can get up over a little bit of ground in due course?
I think he can go a bit further, but usual time test got a bit speed in the side, and but at the moment I think 1200 is stretching his best at the moment will be 14, but I'm quite pleased to keep 1200 with him.
And just on sort of the handicapper's opinion of him, he's obviously put him up £10. He is going up in grade out of 4-year-old restricted company. Does he give you the impression that he's a horse that will keep going the right way?
Well, I hope so. I thought £10 would be quite harsh, for a first time a horse running so green, and obviously when you look at the field, wasn't much strong horses behind him, but he done it in a smarter way. But yeah, we just have to see how he does now, So we in better class, but he's a lot to go up £10, but he done it the easy way. So we're going to find out this time how good he could be.
Derek Master 8 will be your ride in the Jockey Club Sprint this Sunday afternoon. Clearly a very smart horse. You rode him last time. What was your take on the horse, having sat on him for the first time?
Last time with the handicap race and with the good draw, he won very good. The last 200, he got a clean one, and he kept rolling. He kept running strong.
He wore the tongue tie for the first time last time. Now, obviously, you hadn't ridden him previous, but was Frankie Law's thinking that it's helped him going forward?
Oh, he's trainer decision, and he think can make the horse more relaxed, and which he did. He's quite relaxed last time and comfortable. And last time with the draw, with the handicap, everything is suitable for him. He went good.
He obviously was 2 lengths off of Wellington in that race. And obviously, it gets much tougher in a race like this. But in your opinion, as a rider, how much has he got to find, do you think, on that performance to get that bit closer to Wellington, if not trying to beat him?
Well, I hope I can beat him. I will try my best, and just depends the draw and the pace, especially for the sprinter. Who get the right spot is very important.
You're drawn in 12, obviously the draw not ideal, but I guess in a race like this with a decent field, they're going to go quick. That's certainly going to be a help, isn't it?
Yeah, won't be help, but hope more lucky.
And obviously with a horse like him, I guess if he was to come through this weekend in good shape, he's certainly one that you'd like to stick with, I'm sure, for HKIR.
Yeah, sure. I try my best, have a better result.
And obviously for you, Derek, and for any rider, I mean, to get these nice rides in the big races on the big day, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yep. That's what we want, what we do, and I will try to grab the good opportunity and try to get a good result.
James McDonald, great to see you here at Sha Tin, somewhere you're relatively familiar with. You've come in this weekend to ride Romantic Warrior. I imagine you're looking forward to riding a horse of his calibre.
Yeah, absolutely. He looks an absolute pleasure to ride. He's taken it all before him here in Hong Kong. He's got a fantastic record. He's a real trier, and to get the opportunity to ride such a good horse here in Hong Kong is a real privilege. So I'm really looking forward to the challenge, and hopefully he runs well.
What have you made of him, James? Obviously, I imagine you've had a chance to go back and look through his form. Obviously, what he's done here has been, very, very impressive. What's been your overall take of the horse?
Yeah, he's phenomenal, really. His record suggests that he's pretty self-explanatory. He looks a real pleasure to ride in terms of he puts himself in a really good position. He makes his own luck, and he's as tough as anything late in the piece. So you don't get a record like he does if he's not a great horse, and I'm sure he'll show his true wares on Sunday.
You obviously haven't had time to sit on the horse, of course, before the weekend, but I imagine you've spoke to Danny Shum. What's been the feeling from the stable?
Yeah, they're very pleased. Obviously, 2000 first up's always never easy, but he's definitely got class on his side. Obviously, a Hong Kong Derby winner, it's nothing to be sneezed at, and for him to be resuming over 2000, obviously he must be very forward, and I'm sure Danny's got him right where he wants to in terms of he'll improve going into the international series, but he's here to run very well, and like I said, I'm extremely excited to be on him.
Plenty to look forward to that week, of course. Obviously, outside of the international meeting, James, obviously the IJC, you're coming back for that as well. I imagine that's always something that's quite enjoyable for riders like yourself. Yeah,
for sure. It's a great week. It's always awesome to be a part of. Jump at the opportunity every time I get a chance to do it. So yeah, to be competing against some great jockeys on a very unique track, very open. I've had a little bit of luck here since, so hopefully we can go one or two better over the last few seasons. But yeah, it's so enjoyable, and especially after our spring carnival's finished, it's great to be up here and competing with some really good jockeys.
Hugh Bowman, very welcome back to Hong Kong. Of course, you've got many fans here. Good to see you here at Sha Tin this morning. This weekend, you're obviously going to take your first rides here in Hong Kong during this stint. Good Buddy was a horse I wanted to chat to you about in the last. You had a sit on him this week as well. How did he feel?
Yes, he was the first horse I sat on since my return, and he gave me a really good feel. He had the earmuffs on and just worked down the back straight, and he galloped very, very well, and he's come up with a nice draw with barrier 1, so things look to be falling in place for him, and hopefully he can, well, hopefully I'm on the board before then, being race 10, but if we can start off with a winner on Sunday, it'll be a great start.
It certainly will be, obviously. And just, you mentioned gate number 1, of course, David Hawley's trainer. I mean, this poor horse has had terrible barriers, so I imagine the team are pleased that he's got that inside alley this time.
Well, of course, we all know how important the draws are here in Hong Kong, and, you know, from that start, barrier 1's a real asset, and the horse is obviously in very good form. He's been racing well, and, you know, his work on Thursday morning would indicate that he's ready to run well.
I imagine if he runs that level of form that he was able to produce last time, only beating a short head, then he should certainly be in the mix, shouldn't he?
I hope so. I'd like to think he would be, so time will tell, but he's going well, and he's in a lovely race for him.
You and David Hall teaming up now, having gone back through your list of winners. Belinsky was one that stood out, maybe for good and bad reasons. He did get disqualified when you first won him, but he won the time after. So a bit of history there with David Hall. Good to team up with him.
Yeah, it is good to team up with him, and, you know, amongst other trainers, you know, I don't think we can rely on one support base here in Hong Kong. But like I said, it's just lovely to be back. I feel really enthusiastic about what lies ahead, and my wife Christine and the 2 girls came with me to give me some company. So, I mean, look, let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's going to take a little while to just settle into the routine, and, you know, that doesn't elude me. But in saying that, having been here before, I'm familiar with the system. I'm familiar with the way things go, and there's lots of familiar faces here for me to re-establish some partnerships. So, look, we're excited. Got some nice rides on Sunday. I think I've got some nice rides looking forwards to next week at Happy Valley and beyond. So, one step at a time. I think, you know, that the racing will take care of itself. We've just got to get a little bit of continuity and a little bit of settlement in our day-to-day living, and, you know, once that happens, it'll all go pretty smoothly, I'd like to think.